Welcome to the Powerhouse Affiliate Show. Today, I'm very happy to have with me Brandon McClevis and Jerry Moody, aka Money Stacks from Envyus Media. Today, we're going to be diving into the affiliate world, and we're going to be talking about many things. So stay tuned till the end. We have lots of great information today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. First, let's go with Brandon.
Hi, Joey. Thanks for having us on the podcast. My name is Brandon McClevis. I have been in the affiliate space for 17 years. Good portion of my time in the dating and live cam space. Now over with Envyus Media, which is more of the home services space, is our bread and butter. Excited to be here today. Looking forward to the conversation, and we'll see what comes of it.
Awesome. Thanks for coming today. And Jerry.
Hey, it's good you had us on here, Joey. Obviously, love talking to you. We've worked together for 7+ years. I've been doing this for the same number of time, and it's great to be able to, conversate and talk about the industry with your friends. So thanks for having me here, man.
Awesome. Yes. So today, let's start with just tell me and everyone watching, what is Envyus Media? What do you guys do, and how are you helping other people make money?
Well, Joey, we've been paying our affiliates for over 12 years now. We work in a wide variety of verticals. Right now, we're strongest in home improvement and solar. But we pride ourselves on having the best payouts in the space. Paying our affiliates on time, providing concierge style service, and a lot of data that people don't get elsewhere. One of the reasons that we're as big as we are is because we've always prided ourselves on doing the right things with our people. And you kind of see this, Joey, you've worked with us for a long time, but that's kind of who we are. That's how we have been Envyus Media for as long as we have, and people have been envious the whole time. So,
Yep, that's true. I have seen you guys for many, many years. I ran some traffic there, and still looking at some of your offers that look great right behind your head there on the screen. Oh, yeah. Those are cool. I like those. So with so many affiliate networks, like over the years, there's thousands of affiliate networks. Why are you guys still in the space? What separates you guys?
I'll take that one, Joey. There is a lot of networks out there, and there's still more coming. I think it's the personality and the personality. We try to make it fun, even though we are here to make money and generate business. So the personality factor is big. I think secondly, I would say just being honest. Word of mouth goes a long ways in this space. We've all had our mishaps and what have you. It's just doing the right thing at the end of the day, regardless of if it's good, bad, or in between. I think if you can do that, you will last in this space. Like I mentioned, word of mouth is big, and it goes a long way with people. So doing business with people that are honest and just tell it like it is and try to do the best they can is what people are looking for.
And most importantly, we don't shave. I think that sets us apart from a lot of people. So
that's awesome. And we're going to get into some good detailed methods here on how to make some money. So anybody watching here, please make sure you watch to the end, because we got some good stuff coming here. Well, I just wanted to get a few things out of the way, who we are, who we're talking to, because like I said, there's so many different places. There's so many different offers. And what I like best about your guys' offers is that they convert and you don't shave, like you said, which is very true, because a lot of networks out there, a lot of advertisers sometimes have that ability. But anyway, regardless, let's move on here, and let's look at some of the things that you guys offer. That, let's say I'm just a new affiliate or even an experienced affiliate. I want to make some sick money. And what do you guys have that is going to help me out here?
I would say the hottest thing we have going on right now are our owned and operated solar, windows, roofing, bath, gutter offers. But we also do a lot of other things, right? So we have offers in the background check space. We have offers in the credit score space. We even do rent to own. We're not big in a lot of those kind of newer style affiliate offers like sweepstakes and stuff, because everybody knows those are the ones that gets shaved the most. But one of the other things we do is we provide access, we provide teaching skills, we provide everything to just go along and run with the offer. So we give you targeted zip lists, we give you targeted data, You know, we tell you what states are the best, where our acceptance rates are the highest. I think a lot of things that affiliates don't realize with these owned and operated offers that we have is, you know, it all depends on where you go with the traffic, what style of traffic you use, what advertising you use, and just kind of your postbacks and your pixels and how you're working with the algorithm to just make sure that everything's delivered effectively. Um, and honestly, man, I would say that goes hand in hand with our exclusive offers, you know, because that
Yeah.
helps you get better at what you're doing. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. When I've spoken to a couple of other big affiliates lately, even on this channel, and one of the things that help us make money is having those exclusive offers, having the ability to track in the back end, and having networks share and be transparent with data, because that's extremely important nowadays, especially with all of the rules changing, all of the privacy things happening in terms of the iOS changes to advertising and all of those things. So by you guys being transparent, I think that gives us an opportunity, and I like
well,
that. So
I would say another huge advantage of the fact that we do own and operate our own offers is everybody gets a unique URL, right? So you don't have to worry about what happens with kind of the networky approach with people just passing links around. The networks hate that, right? So you get your accounts banned. You know, you have issues with your CPCs going up. You know, and then you waste all that time, all that energy that you've put into the offer. So that's really one of the biggest advantages to go along with your point, Joey, about the iOS updates and kind of how everything's operating. Those unique URLs, being able to verify your DNS and just taking that extra mile to make the link look unique and act unique is super important.
Yeah. I would say, especially lately, not that data hasn't always been key, but it's definitely key now. As the years have gone by, traffic doesn't get cheaper. It usually doesn't. And so optimization to try to back out on something that you're promoting is difficult. It gets more difficult. So having the right data, providing a lot of feedback, because at the end of the day, you're not going to just run traffic and it's just going to be gangbusters. It takes work. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. So just being open and communicating, and kind of the stick-to-itiveness. I know that it's hard to just burn money and not get a return, but in most cases, you have to burn some before you win.
yeah,
It's just being smart about it.
With things changing so much and you guys seeing so much behind the scenes as affiliate managers and offer managers, can you kind of enlighten us on any tips or insights that affiliates can use to optimize their campaigns with you based on the common patterns you've seen and other things that you've seen behind what we can't see?
I would say the biggest thing to make sure that you're making the most out of those campaigns and getting the kind of effective just target range and audience that you're looking for is just being open to testing various modes of traffic, like testing states, testing, very broad, testing very narrow, maybe looking at cities, maybe targeting specific zips, looking at other traffic sources. I think that one of the biggest things for campaigns is that people get hyper focused on what they're doing. Joey, you're obviously very aware of this since you've been in, the background check space for years and years and years. When you find something that's working, you want to stick to it. You just want to keep doing it. But in all reality, like the environment's changing and everything's growing. Like maybe you only do Facebook or Instagram. Well, look at TikTok. They have a lot of the same functionalities. They have a lot of the same targeting. You can test the same ads, but if you never go out of your comfort zone, then you're never going to learn anything and really make money stacks.
Yeah, that holds true for, I guess, and Jerry's talking about home services, which is very state orientated, zip code orientated. There's a fine line between broad targeting and narrow targeting. As I understand it, broad targeting will get you lower cost, but obviously it's not optimized. And so a lot of people will go broad and then kind of squeeze it in and cut out the laggards. If you try to go narrow right out of the gate, costs tend to be high and it's more difficult to get a return. And don't get me wrong, everyone has a certain approach to it. I guess just understanding the fundamentals is important. And just having your ducks in a row before you launch. I think some people go a little haphazardly and that doesn't yield well for results. So, and there's a lot of great groups out there. If you're just paying attention, and strategizing, it can be really helpful. But it also helps for the person that you're promoting to provide data to you to help you be better.
Well, and I would also point to what you said, Brandon, about you got to be willing to spend money, right? At the end of the day, because some sources like Native take up to $10,000 before they're really truly optimized, and you just got to have faith that your ROI is going to come through at the end of the day,
And you make a good point in terms of, especially Facebook traffic has changed so much. Back when we used to start targeting, and we would select all these targets and try and target people. Nowadays, with AI and the way the algorithms are working for us, everything is broad. You just start out and hope, then start, like you said, start the opposite way, where before we used to, at least I used to start targeting like, okay, women over 45, and then like going in and like, maybe the only thing I target now is maybe the age, but then after that, it's a wide open ball game, letting the AI do its thing.
Oh yeah, man. It's just like, I guess, just throwing a dart at a dartboard, right? If you try to aim for a super small target, it's going to be harder than it is if you hit a broader target. An interesting story kind of about that is, we do a lot of zip lists for our home service offers. But even the formatting is important. We had an issue where it wasn't a CSV, so they went to just copy paste them in, and it forgot the zips, and it messed up the audience, and he spent too much money. But then when we went and fixed the zip code, it was able to be uploaded, the zip code list, into a CSV and just drop it in. His audience went from Facebook telling him there's only like 1,000 people in 15, what was it, like 5,500 zip codes, to like 2.5 to 5.5 million. It's just like those little bitty things can make a huge difference, and even one of my buddies on TikTok, he went from our zip code list and he's like, well, I only want to target homeowners, which is a great idea for home improvement, but it killed his audience, so it's like, you find that fine line. But then he went to target like the best states we offer, and he put that filter in, and it was way better than just a zip code list. But having the wherewithal to split test, I think, is where you gain that advantage comparatively, to people like you said, who initially just want to get super honed in out the gate, because then you spend a ton of money, you don't get the conversion rate, because the campaigns, like you said, the campaign's never going to be gangbusters out the door. Like, Joey, have you ever ran a campaign that was gangbusters out the door?
It's like 1 out of 100, maybe, out of testing.
See, that makes sense to me, man. But I feel like there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, when it comes to figuring out your campaigns. A lot of people, you only see one side of the story, right? So you only see your click-through rate, your CPMs, your CPCs. But at the end of the day, like you had to be hitting the right areas to hit those buyers that want those leads in the home services space. There are offers out there that are nationwide, but like you said, they're usually shaved pretty heavily. So
I see.
Something to keep in mind.
So your offers, the ones that we see there, are mainly the ones we're speaking of right now. In particular, are home services. Like, can you give me some examples of what they are and how much they pay for a lead? Just so.
Okay, so that's a great question. We have payouts on solar that range anywhere from like $4 to like $225, right? And even in some areas, some states like Connecticut, they'll pay $70 plus for a lead. So it goes down to the whole targeting thing. Even roofing, bathrooms, gutters. You have targets in there that are $75 payouts plus. But if you don't ever hit them, you think like, man, this offer stinks. My average payout's like $7. But on average in solar, where people get optimized, the average payout is anywhere between 25 and, what is it, Brennan, like $32.
Yeah.
And then you get these juicy leads, as we call them, that come in after the fact, and they're gangbusters. They just optimize the campaign to the fullest, and you're able to really stack ROI on top of your spend. You might have a down day, but then some of these juicy leads come in that are 225, and your EPC soars. So it's a different vertical in the fact that it's not a set payout. But my motto is, if they give you a set payout, they're shaving you, right? There's no such thing as a static payout. They're going to take the ROI in one way or another, right? So ours operate on rev share. You get what you get. We don't sugarcoat it for you, So So
yeah, and there's obviously different pockets across the U.S. and a lead in California is worth more than Mississippi, let's say. So there's that, and things do shift around for different home services. Obviously weather's different in different places of the U.S. than others, and which for roofing and whatnot. So kind of being in the know of the season and what's happening in that season. Obviously solar in the winter is not as great as when it's hot as crap outside. And also energy costs have not gone down very much. They've actually gone up quite a bit. So it bodes well for that, for the solar space. But you take California, for example, 43% of residential homes have solar. So, at some point, almost all of them will. So, but there's up and coming areas. A lot of people are moving around now. Idaho has been big, and there's these other places because people are leaving California.
yeah, I would say you might be surprised sometimes by the states that are, up and coming. We see a lot of leads in places like Pennsylvania for solar, but it really points a light on how, I think affiliates always ask, like, what's the most evergreen vertical that we can run forever, right? That's never going to have any problems. That's one of the big advantages to the home improvement vertical, I would say.
Yeah.
And it is, yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it is definitely targeting oriented too. So,
yeah, the home improvement space is probably never going to really get dull. Also, we talk about traffic, but at the same time, the buyers that buy those leads, they have to back out for them, and that's also another part of this that a lot of people don't think of. They just think of, well, I have ads, I generate leads, they're good. Well, in most cases, yes. It depends on the ad copy you're running. So being aware of that is important. Because at the end of the day, as far as our concern, our buyers have to make money on the leads that they're purchasing. A lot of that comes down to the call center piece and how well they do on the phone, working those leads. Leads are only as good as how good you work them.
Yeah. And so I wanted to touch on that quickly. So we've seen the landing pages out there on native, that's like cut your electric bill and blah, 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 like all those things. So what do you find the best 3 traffic sources will say for quality, or how can affiliates improve quality, not just by traffic, but give us some good tips on how we can get quality, but still make money without going crazy?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I would say traditionally more customer facing sources are usually the best for traffic. I would say, the lion's share of our traffic, probably about 70% plus, is Facebook and Instagram. But there are up and coming sources, right? So you see a lot of big players on native, but it's such a high entry gate for some of these people who aren't like super direct to, the end buyers to actually make money there. But like I said, there's a lot of up and coming like social media sources. TikTok has never been seen as a particularly predominant traffic source, especially among the end buyers, because they don't understand that a lot of people are joining TikTok who are homeowner age. Like people over 30 are using that traffic source. But I would say, kind of to answer your question in a TLDR kind of way, usually social media is the easiest to target. But as far as compliance, a lot of people try to go over the top with their ads. They try to be like, "Hey, Elon Musk will come out and personally install your solar panels," and that it doesn't work like that. But at the end of the day, like Brandon was saying, the leads have to work out for buyers, right? And while you can make a quick cash grab, you don't run an offer for 10 plus years like Joey doing that. I would just say, the reality of the situation is, if the end customer is not happy, you're not going to make very good lead values. One of the things we've seen is the higher your appointment rates, the more leads. And I know I'm talking a lot about the home service industry, but it's really very true across the entire industry, even ACA and OEP, because everybody's all excited about that now. But at the end of the day, the advertisers have marketing costs just like affiliates have marketing costs, and they have to line up. So, I would say one of the biggest things to keep continuity, which you already know, Joey, because your traffic's the best. But just making sure that your ads are on the level that the end buyers can actually monetize on them. Don't say that things are free. Don't say they're going to promise them the world. Just be realistic, because like Brandon's saying, there are a lot of advantages to every single offer. One of the things that you're good at, Joey, for example, is casino. Like, people love casinos. You don't have to oversell it. You can offer them what they want, because at the end of the day, like, everything has a niche. You just have to find it.
It's also a, ever scroll type of world. We're inundated with visuals all the time. Being creative can be difficult after a while. Ads will burn themselves out. It may be a great ad and you do well with it, but it's not going to last forever in a sense. And so I would say continuing to have, ad creative in your arsenal and kind of lined up and ready is important. Kind of, have them on the bench ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think a lot of people don't realize how much work there is in creating really profitable gangbusters campaigns. But yeah, there's a lot of work in these ads, like constantly, like, you can't be running 25 campaigns as a single sole affiliate here. Like, you got to find one that works and just hammer it. And
it's the catch, man, because the thumb goes. I mean, because most of this traffic is mobile. I mean, most traffic now is mobile.
I think the statistic is like 75% plus.
Wow.
And that was several years ago.
Yeah.
Got to catch that attention. It's not like a TV where you got to watch the part of the commercial before you hit skip. The finger just scrolls right past it.
Well, and if we're not just focusing on social media, the same is true for lots of traffic sources, even email. Like, they instituted a lot of new rules and regulations on Google where, like, if your spam rate's over 3% on your entire account, it's going to all land in spam. It's just like there's rules everywhere. You've got to optimize and grow, no matter what traffic type it is. Even like SMS, like, you only burn your phone number so many times until it gets shut off, right? So it's one of those things. I just think at the end of the day, obviously knowing your audience, compliance is key. And then, what Brandon's saying is just about engaging your audience. I think that's probably the three most important parts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. So we all know the obvious traffic sources out there. Do you guys have any secret loophole traffic sources that we don't know about? Or can we just, like, is there like some kind of secret sauce somewhere that
I would say somebody signed up to Envyus a while back that said their traffic type was car. I never really thought about it that way.
Nice. You know what I was thinking of doing?
What's that?
It's not secret, but it's kind of like one of those back burner ideas, is doing some like video ads for like Netflix and YouTube people that are sitting in their couch, right? So I'm targeting only TVs, because everybody turns TVs off because we're all online guys and we just want to make sure people are clicking.
Right.
But doing like the actual ad and saying a pay-per-call number instead.
Yeah. And see, that is a great kind of segue into one of what I would consider the hardest parts of TV ads. And that's that. How do you get people to remember the website without singing a catchy jingle like J.G. Wentworth?
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, I feel like it'd be ridiculous with all the tracking variables that are on a link, unless you had a dedicated URL like we provide our affiliates. Like, you would have to do PPC. It would have to be called. That's the easiest thing for people to remember. However, I see it all the time. I think USAA is on my TV like every time there's a football game. So it's just like it has to work, right? The CPM's got to back out somehow.
Yeah.
Definitely branding. I would consider that branding. And a rule of thumb is you got to see it 3 times before it sticks in your head that you think about a product, and then you go back in your memory bank. You're like, oh yeah, that.
What about YouTube Shorts? YouTube Shorts would be good too.
Yes, YouTube Shorts.
So that that didn't take off a lot in the beginning, but being an avid YouTube watcher of car type channels, a lot of like Doug DeMiro is a big car review guy. Does a lot of shorts now. It's a good filler between having to record a whole segment, edit it, and post it. I don't know what the revenue return is on shorts versus an actual video, but they do get quite a few views. So I would say that's become more of a thing. Something to think about, Joe. You need some shorts.
Yes, I do have. I posted a short video not long ago on the YouTube channel. Well, I did about 10 of them, and one of them took off and got like 12,000 views, which was pretty cool. But I could see that area is gonna totally expand here soon. I think on the YouTube ad spectrum, because right now you can't really target them as well as I would like. But another thing, when I was trying to remember what I was talking about, was when you're driving down the road and you listen to Sirius satellite radio and you just hear them repeating that phone number like 75 times throughout the ad, trying to get you to remember like the ad. It's crazy.
I 100% agree with you, and it's so infuriating how they do those ads on Hulu. Just, we're ads guys, right? So we understand like that's how you have to do it to get people's attention. But man, I'm just like, why are they repeating this same commercial 3 times in a row? And it's like what Brandon's saying, brand awareness. You just got to get there.
Yeah. It's difficult these days. We're a consumer driven economy, and but the things that we consume are becoming harder to come by. It's like, do you really need another TV? Do you really need an iPhone 15 Pro Max? I don't know. So and
it's funny because what we're talking about now is kind of leading into the next question, which is, where do you see affiliate marketing going in the next, say, 5 years, and how are you guys getting prepared for that?
Okay, I think from what we're doing, obviously, Joe, you getting into YouTube, and our guys doing Facebook, and everybody doing Instagram and TikTok. You don't realize the power of those platforms. I was reading some statistics the other day, and they said the average person spends at least an hour on those platforms every single day. Like I see that number getting higher and higher because I myself really enjoy a nice cat video. Like I'll watch like sports stuff on my phone. I'll watch home improvement videos, and then the algo just targets you, man, and that's all you see. So you're going to get better customers, more engaged customers. But at the same time, like, people want that information in their face. They just want to shove down their throat. And that's one of the best parts about shorts and TikTok and everything. They just kind of blend it in. So you're just like kind of like taken under the radar. And then you're like, hey, maybe that was a good idea, especially if you do creative content, right? So, you just got to appeal to people's pain points, and then they'll do the rest, right? But I honestly, I think one of the biggest trends we're going to see in the next 5 years is a big crackdown on super aggressive ads. We've seen that in the last 2 years in a lot of different verticals. We do thousands of leads in solar, so we see a lot, 1,000 leads a day in solar. So we see a lot of, really, really like aggressive ads with, like I said, they got Elon Musk climbing on a roof, putting on a solar like roof, promising that the government's going to pay you, saying that it's all free. Like, those ads get taken down. You get your ad accounts hit. You lose a lot of value to your account, and you're just hurting yourself over the long run. And that's one of the things that I see, really pushing forward. Another big thing is I see a crackdown on like fraud or bot leads. There's a lot of technology out there these days that really helps advertisers keep on top of that. So, affiliates that think they're going to jump in and make a quick buck without knowing what they're doing, I don't think a lot of those guys are going to make it as well as they did in the past. And I spoke about this a little earlier. When you go and pick your verticals, you have to understand that there's some that just have no staying power. Like, you can't run sweepstakes forever because it's shaved so heavily. You can't do, a lot of these healthcare offers a lot because they're very time sensitive. You just have to be cognizant of all the little changes and be able to bob and weave. And I think that that's where the industry is going to be going in the future, because none of us, we've all been doing this for a long time. Our jobs are all different than they were when we started out. We've all kind of grown and evolved, and I think the evolution is going to keep in that trend towards the future for people's short sense of attention span. And I think that what's important is us evolving to that as well.
Yeah, I would also add that, I would say younger adults. I'm a little bit older. They don't watch TV anymore. It's YouTube and Netflix. I think Netflix even mentioned possibly doing ads soon. And I think we've all grown accustomed to the ads and the amount of ads on Instagram and Facebook, and they kind of they've played themselves out a little bit, not completely, obviously. I think that influencer traffic will be a big thing in the coming years, and not in the way that, say, a company will plug a YouTube channel or a video, where you're going to skip over it. You're like, oh, here's the ad part, and then you go 2 minutes, 3 minutes in, and you keep watching what you're watching. It's going to be more where they blend it in as part of the video, as part of. So it's not
like a native
ad. It's
yeah.
Or that they were paid to put that in. Things always evolve, and things do play themselves out. So you have to come up with new methods in order to get the message across.
And I would say
more and more in the coming years.
Yeah, and to expand on that idea, Brandon, you would probably know this as well, Joey. They block the ad blockers on YouTube. It's the craziest thing. It's good for us marketers, but man, I really like listening to music without ads.
Yeah, I saw something about that today in the newsletter I was reading. That's crazy. But you guys make good points. I think short video, short attention span, kind of get the point across. Boom, that's the future of internet. And I'm seeing it just in my own campaigns that where I would you used to test like 10 to 20 different images in my Facebook ads. Now it's like 5 videos instead. Trying little short videos and getting people, because you need a scroll stopper, and you need something to, even like putting a little image before the video starts to kind of, whoa, did I just see that? And you're like trying to scroll back.
Somebody smashing a fruit on a window. I see that now.
That's exactly.
Anything to catch someone's attention that is not normal from the general day-to-day scrolling through the feed. Because I mean, it's Netflix, YouTube, or the social platforms, the top 3 there. That's the majority of where everyone is putting their eyeballs. And just being creative on how you get them to stop and look, or stop and read, or even obviously click, definitely sets you ahead. I think you're going to see more creativeness in that sense in the future here.
Yeah. I would say, the statistics say that it's like as far as like the time spent on platforms goes, and it goes right into what we're talking about short videos and attention spans. It goes TikTok, YouTube, then Twitter, then Snapchat, then Instagram, then Facebook, and then Reddit's at the end of the list. So like maybe some of those platforms that you might have thought people would spend time on, especially native platforms, they just aren't getting the read time that they used to. It's all videos. It's all easily digestible information.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And the years go on, this younger crowd, they are the internet generation. The 40s and 50s and 60s year olds that do have the disposable income. I'd say they're a little easier to sway, but the younger generation,
they're moving up the ranks.
That's right.
And how are we going to get them if they don't have Facebook?
The young ones don't use Facebook. That's for the old people.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, in 10 years from now, we're going to have to figure out a way to get these 45, 50 plusers not on Facebook. Anyway. So let's move into the next series, which is coming to an end here for anybody watching, but there's some good golden nuggets coming up. So make sure you stick around. So can you share speaking of that, how about you share with us a typical success story of somebody in your network? Don't tell us, obviously, I know you wouldn't tell us their exact methods, but give us a success story, how somebody comes in and starts making some serious money with you guys.
Okay, so basically the process works. People provide us with the creatives that they're going to run. You can go, source creatives from like Fiverr. You can make them yourself. You can make an advertorial or some, native display ad, or any kind of ad really, as long as it's not email or SMS or incentivized. And then we go through the compliance process. I help walk people through what's acceptable to say and what's not acceptable to say. And then we pass that on down the line to our compliance team. They approve the ad or the video or whatever it may be. And then we'll go through the process of setting up the links, getting your tracking, set up, and we provide all the targeting that you need, depending on how you want to go about it. And then you're pretty much off to the races. We do quality checks, and then when everything is good to go, we pay our guys weekly net 9 payments on our home improvement stuff. And just kind of a rags to riches story. One of my guys, he recently started doing social media probably 5 to 6 months ago. He met up with one of my friends. My friends told them that, solar is a great vertical, so he hopped in. Within 2 or 3 weeks, he's doing a couple hundred leads a day. And now he's doing 500 to 1,000 leads a day on the good days, man. And that's not
Wow.
even counting the juicy leads. He had 13 to 15 of those bad boys. We're looking at $2,600 extra revenue. Like it all makes a difference. But at the end of the day, like we can really help people make a lot of money. You just have to be open to testing. It's not always going to win every single time out the door. But we have people we pay, $350,000 or more a week. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to have a little money to make money. I mean, there is some risk involved. So, but some of the guy in particular Jerry's talking about, and even others, their stick-to-itiveness is impressive. It's not like they just throw it up and let it run and well, here's what happened. They figure it out. That's a big part of it is just being aggressive, paying attention, changing, modifying, trying again until you get the recipe right.
And data.
You guys must get a lot of guys coming in, and this is a lesson for people out there that are just starting. You get people coming in, they're like, okay, I want to try your solar offer. And then they fire it up. They spend $300 on Facebook. They get maybe one lead. And then they're like, nah, doesn't work. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the people that will never make it. But if you just explain how would that person change and do it right?
I think understanding your metrics and getting just a ton of data from us. And if and this goes back to what Brandon was saying, the stick to itness, and maybe having an understanding, that you have to understand your audience. You have to work with the data. But it's definitely going to take more than $300. I would say that, we've had people that they get a lead and it actually converts. It sells to the buyers. And they're like, well, why didn't we get more than one lead? And I'm like, well, why didn't you get more than one lead? It's not our fault. Like, are the ads not converting? Other people have conversion rates, 12 to 17% on this same funnel. Like, what's the issue? And I think it goes back to understanding that, like Joey, how many creatives out of 100 do you think would be stinkers? But how much do the good creatives make you? Like, that's a great Joey question.
Oh,
like if you're running like 100 creatives, how many of them are going to work out? But those ones that work out make you all the money.
Oh yeah,
and they make the
Those
ROI.
are the ones that you can scale, and you can just keep turning it up, and absolutely. And I want to make a quick point here about why you keep saying you get your own domain name. And for some people that don't know, can you explain why you're giving people their own domain name and the advantage to that other networks won't do?
Hey, go ahead, Brandon. This is one of your brain children right here.
I mean, first and foremost, obviously, if you run everything on a single domain, one person can taint the whole pool. So you could have 5 guys doing it right, and then one guy comes in and just ruins it for everybody. Also, having your own domain, your tracking specific to you. That everything that goes there, you're gonna receive commission on. It's unique. It is a bit of a hassle in a way. I mean, some of it on our side is automated, but there is manual labor that goes into it. So I'd say that's the biggest part. You just can't taint the pool.
One of the advantages I had running that particular solar offer is that I can create my own website and brand. And Facebook thinks I'm a legit business just by having a domain name that I can verify to my account. And as an affiliate on Google now, I can direct link to that, and it's my own domain. So I'm not risking the chance of some other affiliate tainting Google and saying, that
Right.
domain is banned from Google because this idiot over here is firing out ads, that don't make sense. I have full control on that domain. I can start, direct linking, which I liked about that.
And we verify the DNS for you too, so it even looks more like you own the site, like it's even more your business, and everything's congruent, and it's such a better solution than 99.9% of companies out there use. It's just effective. We do have one of the I'd say Chris is like a tech wizard, and he's implemented mind-blowing solutions that help us keep track of everything because he's just the best. And I wouldn't say that everybody can do it, but the people that can get you that kind of support, it's going to make you all the money. Like you said, Joey, it's just, you don't have to worry about all the time and effort you spend on your Google account just to get shut down by some dummy that doesn't care about you at all. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when we do bring on someone new, we tend to have everyone involved, at least initially. Jerry's our front man. He's great personality, which always helps. We bring Chris in, who's our CTO. He'll set up anything you need, and you're off to the races. If you have any problems or want data, we can support you there. So, we are a smaller team, but we are quite diverse in our skill sets and what we can offer. Lean and mean, I guess, is how I would say we run.
And Brandon, like you can even do like website optimizations for unique domains if you want to test certain things. He's made a ton of different funnels, a ton of different advertorials, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like we can provide a bunch of unique options for your pages outside of just here's the lander, go run it. We've optimized a lot of different ways. We even have an advertorial where if the user selects that they're not a homeowner, it goes to a rent to own offer. Like that's just, a good way to help affiliates monetize something that might not have monetized previously. So, it all goes back to like what you're saying. It's important to have these tech solutions like unique links and just be able to bob and weave and pivot on your feet. Like you're going to get punched in the face a lot if you can't.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's head into the fun part here. We're going to go quick hits here and bring this to an end. But there's a couple more nuggets here I wanted to ask quickly as we go through and finish this off. So let me say this. If you could go back in time, what is one thing you would like to change back in the affiliate marketing industry? Oh, we all have our ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just sad they got rid of MySpace, man. What the heck? No, I think I think one of the best things that you would say, Joey, is like, why does Google have so many algorithm changes? I had it perfected from day one, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
Well, that was kind of when I was pre-gaming with Joey here. Traffic sources, I feel like 13 years ago, it was wide, and all the big boys kind of dominated the internet. And now it's all been funneled into this small subset in a sense, because all the eyeballs are where they are every day. I think that's been the biggest challenge, and they're kind of owning the traffic, and they dictate the price of that traffic, which sometimes doesn't coincide with metrics as far as how much you can pay out on it, and the publisher affiliate make money, and you make money. Recently, I've heard that Facebook's been expensive, and all of a sudden stuff doesn't back out, and then traffic just dies once you can't back something out. So I would say the corporatization of traffic has been a big problem.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. And it even affects, like I say, I mean, we all started out with, the Yahoos and the Googles and whatnot, just working in that direction. But even those platforms have changed a lot over the years. And I think that not all the changes have been for the better, I hear from my affiliates all the time about how Facebook goes down and they're just too big to fail, or Amazon, web servers go down, they're just too big to fail. So it's kind of a shame. There's not a lot of accountability for a lot of these large corporations, and they screw over affiliates as much as they make them money sometimes.
You know what? One thing I really miss from back in the day are $5 payouts on browser installs.
Ah, yeah.
Wow, man. MindSpark.
days.
Remember that one? Oh, geez. MindSpark, Bring Me Sports Toolbar, the Maps, Galaxy. Those were classics.
Anyone in the affiliate space, way back when, Blackhat, even though it's not an acceptable thing, it was much easier to do.
Oh yeah,
and it worked, and it worked well. I think a lot of that's gone out.
Yeah, and it's not really like Blackhat in a sense of like breaking the law. You're just breaking some minor rules that people have, right? And it's like, and the ability to break rules now is getting harder and harder, where now you just have to kind of give in and say, okay, fine, I'll follow the rules.
Yeah.
Right.
On the same token, it's I would say a lot harder to fraud networks or offers.
Oh yeah.
I would say in the past it was easier to do, and there was a lot of it. I can say today, at least for us, you'd be pretty hard pressed to shove through leads and get paid for them.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so many checks and balances now.
Yeah. But fraud is still an issue. I'm sure there's offers that get frauded more than others, a lot more than others, which is unfortunate because nobody wins except for the fraudster.
Yeah. And everybody on the network gets hurt too, because the advertisers take off. And so I think we talked about that in another conversation I had with someone else in regards to what you guys, it's good that you guys are so strict on fraud, because it only helps the real guys make more money, get better payouts, better long-term offers, evergreen.
It's good that you realize that, Joey, because people hate compliance. They hate it.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil, man. You have to do that. And that's, there's a lot of bad parts to more rules and regulations, but there are also good parts. And people like you don't deserve to have offers shut down just because somebody's trying to do fraud. So
yeah, exactly.
Funny enough, email, as old as it is, it still works.
Do you still have some guys crushing out the emails to big giant lists, or how?
We don't really do any email or SMS, but we do like B2B outreach and other kinds of outreach. And we see success with that. We do have clients that do well with email. We just there's a lot of legalese for people outside the United States, and like you said, there's not all good affiliates, and it only takes one or two bad affiliates to really wreck the pot. So, but people still have success with email. I mean, I personally don't ever open anybody's emails other than people I know, but
But Jerry, we're tainted. You can't count us as part of the general
I can tell you, one of the hardest. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I wouldn't open any email without a meme in it. That's like that's a set rule.
It's funny because I doing this YouTube channel is one of my projects, right? It's a side project, but it opens up revenue streams for me. And one of the hardest things about this YouTube channel and this podcast is marketing to marketers.
Right. Right.
It's like, man, you got to, if they can smell BS a mile away, right? So you just you gotta be real.
But that's one of the things I love about you, Joey. You're always a real OG, man. You've been in this space forever. People should trust you, man. It's just it's one of those things, man. But you put your money where your mouth is. If you don't trust people that have been doing it for 10 years, then who can you trust?
And that is a really good point, Jerry, because I'll consider this. Like, you can go get a steak at a lot of different places. You tend to go to the place where you like the people, right? Oh, so-and-so is the waitress or whatever. It doesn't matter. You like the environment. There's other solar offers out there and home improvement offers. I think at the end of the day, it's like, obviously, who can you make money with? But the relationship is a big part of it. I feel like for longevity. So I think that's why Envyus has done well over all these years.
Well, we kind of sell ourselves to like real honest marketers that are doing the damn thing.
we do our B2B to try to find buyers and bring buyers on so that, we can give better payouts to publishers, and they win, we win, the buyers win, and just keeping that whole ecosystem going every day is what we're trying to do.
Well, and super affiliates keep their circles small, it's just like people that know what they're doing. The people, it's all I think I knew a lawyer back in the day, and he'd say it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think the same thing really applies in this industry too, because everybody thinks that anybody can be an affiliate marketer, but there's really a lot of attrition, and it's a pretty small world at the end of the day. Everybody kind of knows everybody. So you can't just bullshit a marketer and expect them not to catch you on your bullshit. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's true. So
go ahead, Joey.
I was going to say, we went past the allotted time, so I'm not going to finish with some of the questions I had here. But what I want to do is just quickly tell people how they can get access to your offers and what they can do. I'll put a link down in the description, but what is the process for them to get in there and start running your offers?
Anybody can hit me up. Envyus Jerry is my Skype address, or they can shoot me an email, jerry@envyusmedia.com, or they can just go to the envyusmedia.com website and do the application process there. I see all those applications. It's usually best if you'll shoot me an email or hit me up on Skype to let me know that you applied, and just give me some information. Make sure that you provide, creative samples and other experience that you have in the space, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to tell people, or something you want to talk about before we?
I mean, let's make money stacks, right? That's the main thing. That's why we're all here.
That's why they call you Money Stacks, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Money
I didn't give myself this name. Somebody said, "Hey, you help me make money stacks," and I'm like, "That's great." They're like, "I'm gonna call you Jerry Money Stacks Me." I'm like, "Do it."
Just
the rest is history.
Just keep reinventing, man. We got to keep reinventing this thing. Someone has to do it, and we all have our ways of trying, but it will migrate and change.
Yeah.
The way that we drive traffic and make money, it always pivots. Keep your eye out on the changes.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope everybody subscribes to this channel and goes to Envyus Media to make sure that they get access to your offers and those. What did you call them again? Juicy leads. Oh,
juicy leads. They're the juiciest
leads. Yes, and
imagine a porterhouse.
For tuning in, and thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. You're amazing as always, and I appreciate you having us on here.
Yes, no problem. Definitely appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap, boys. Brandon McClevis and Jerry Moody. Oh wait, hold on.
Jerry Moody, aka Money Stacks. That's
Jerry Moody, aka Money Stacks. Okay. While we're covering these traffic ideas, is it was not paper towel. It was what was I just trying to say? Hold on. What were you just talking about? I'm gonna edit this. Is that the word gangbuster or bangbuster? I don't know.
It's gangbusters, but I'll accept both.
Sometimes I do that Canadian thing where I get the wrong word. But anyway, juicy.
Yeah. Maybe like every time I say juicy lead, it just like pops up on the screen.
Juicy leads. Yeah.